Welcome to Giulio's Bar. Today we're gonna talk about Mirto. So Mirto is a traditional liqueur from Sardinia, the island right next to Italy, which is made from these small berries and sometimes some of the leaves of the bush of these berries. The most common type is Mirto Rosso, which I have here, and is fairly sweet. Then there is also a Mirto Bianco and a Mirto Verde, white and green, but I never saw those. So today anyway we are going to concentrate on this red Mirto, which is the most common. I have here a bottle which is called Terra dei Venti. I don't have any more information about this Mirto, but I think it's kind of decent quality. It runs at 30 degrees ABV. It is fairly sweet, red, deep color, and also it has a kind of a bustle in your hedgerow kind of thing, like a bit of bushy flavor to it. It's usually used as a digestive, but today we are gonna use it in some cocktail. So let's start right away, and the first drink we're gonna make is gonna be a really simple highball. So I get Tom Collins like glass and fill it with ice. Then I'm gonna put 3 dashes of Peugeot bitters. It's these bitters, I think they're from New Orleans, yes, from New Orleans. This is the most important part of this cocktail. You wanna have enough bitters to make an impact, but not too much so as to completely obscure the rest of the flavor in the cocktail. Let's go with 3 of these Peugeot bitters, which have a bit of anise quality to them. Then we go for 25 milliliters of Mirto. I can smell already the aromatic flavors of this liqueur. And then I'm gonna complete it with this gin Cuccuru. Is gin from northern Italy, I think Piemonte, and his main claim to fame is that he has some sage botanicals in it. So I think the sage should complement well the underwood forest-like flavor that the Mirto brings. So I'm gonna go for 35 milliliters. By the way, this gin is a 40% ABV, not strong. Then I'm gonna top it off with some soda. We have some nice separation, but I would like to stir it so that as to distribute well all the flavors in our highball drink. And then I'm gonna garnish it with some laurel leaves. So this is all I have really as a dry laurel leaf. If you have real laurel, like fresh, all the better. If you have maybe sage or rosemary, also would work okay, I think. Let's go with 3. And there you go. I would like to call this a Tom Cuccuru because it's a bit of a variation on Tom Collins. Let's give it a go. Cheers. It's a good drink. Again, the important point is to balance the flavor of our 3 ingredients to a drink. They all bring like a kind of aromatic quality, and as long as you don't go overboard with the Peugeot, Peugeot, I don't know how to say, bitters, but you put a nice amount in it, you will get a nice complement to the Mirto 3 by the Brook quality. As for this gin, is a decent product. Again, maybe you may want to try a gin mare, which has some of those rosemary undertone, but besides that, also a dry gin can work well in this drink. It's nice aromatic and easy to drink. For our second drink, I'm going to propose an even more simple variation on a classic, variation on Manhattan, and we're going to use again our Mirto together, this time with Dead Zet rye whiskey from Pennsylvania. I chose this rye whiskey specifically because it has a pine note, which I think is gonna match well with the Mirto. Now, I tried other Dead Zet in a friend's bar, and it was quite different. So it might be that this pine note is just in this batch. I was able to buy probably the last bottle in Japan of this rye whiskey, and when I bought it, the bottle looked quite old. It might be that just this batch is like something like 10-year old, and it had this pine note that then I was not able to find in my friend's sample. That said, I think actually the pine note is a defect. Makes it harder for me to drink in it, but it makes it perfect to mix with Mirto. Check it out. So let's get some ice. And we're just gonna go for a really simple equal parts Mirto and Dead Zet. So 30 milliliters of Mirto. And 30 milliliters of Dead Zet, which comes at 45% ABV. Again, you could use any other rye whiskey as long as they have this particular note. Actually, it's a good way to use maybe some rye whiskey that you have a harder time drinking it. So I'm gonna name this drink the Tuxiveddu, just because being a variation from Manhattan, Tuxiveddu is a word of Cagliari, the biggest city in Sardinia. So I guess, I don't think it's the Manhattan of Sardinia, but still I like the name because it has those X and U sounds, which are really typical of the Sardinian language as opposed to a normal standard Italian language. So I guess while I was chit-chatting, we achieved a decent amount of dilution. And let's just pour our drink in our cocktail glass. You could even shake this, but I wanted to be more faithful to the original Manhattan roots of this cocktail, and we're gonna just garnish with cherry. Of course, Amarena Fabric cherry. Oh no, don't tell me I finished them. No! It cannot be! They're over. Don't worry. Amarena are never. Holy. Are never over. So there you go, a Tuxiveddu. Cheers. This is really nice, and as I said, the pine note in the rye whiskey help fight off the bushiness of this Mirto quite well. They complement each other, and it's extremely nice drink. I highly suggest this. If you can get your hand on some Mirto, this is a really perfect drink to enjoy it. So now that we've done all the serious drinks, let's do some stupid shit. Let's prepare a shot with Mirto. I'm just gonna get a shot glass. Let's not waste too much time thinking about this. I'm gonna make a bottom layer of cherry syrup, which is perfect. I just finished it. To give the sweetness that a shot drink require. Actually, I have no idea when was last time I had a shot drink. Definitely more than 20 years ago, I would say. Well, let's pour a good amount of Mirto in it. Maybe trying to stack it. Let's see if I can do it. Ooh, maybe you can see the... Yeah, the colors are similar, so it's not the best color contrast, but let's finish by topping it off with some absinthe. It actually has a bit of separation of colors, if I can show it. And now let's give it fire. If we have to be stupid, let's go all the way. Okay, no fire. Ah, fire. No fire. Wait, is it burning? Ah! It's burning! Ah, it's burning! Ah, but you cannot see it. Oh. Okay, let's turn it off. Okay. Cheers. I don't know, I might die. Wish me luck. Actually pretty tasty. I think the fire took out most of the alcohol of absinthe, and actually the flavor of the absinthe kind of matches the Mirto. Not bad. And well, I just got some sweet residue at the bottom, which is delicious. Actually, my first shot in 20 years didn't go as bad as I thought. And I will call this FH70 from the really big cannon they shoot down in Sardinia. Sardinia has many undeveloped area, I guess, so they were taken over by military bases, both Italian and NATO, and they shoot a lot of this big cannon. So in honor, I don't know, of these cannons, I will call this an FH70 to match was other shot name like the B52 and stuff. So I hope you like this video. We explored a few different facets of the Mirto liqueur. It's a really good distillate from one of the most authentic and isolated region of Italy, and I enjoyed all of this. Tom Cuccuru, Tuxiveddu, FH70, they're all actually pretty good. More surprisingly was this one, which was pretty decent. I really like the balance of this one with the rye whiskey. That's great. And I really like the freshness of this one, which is a simple, extremely simple drink to make. Really refreshing. So hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment if you have anything to comment about, and I will see you next time. One more time, cheers.